Welcome, brothers and sisters, to another live broadcast. As you can see already, my esteemed guest is Mr. Shango Rei.
Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. All
Namaste.
right.
Namaste.
How y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing, brother LaCroix? What's
I am
happening?
doing just good, man. Besides the aches and pains that I keep going through, I'm just fine.
I see. Yeah.
Before we
They
even
say
get,
Chronos is unbeat here in this physical realm. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
it is.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Right.
Before we get started, I just wanted to ask, what's the atmosphere like in Cali right now?
It's nice. Not too cold. It's sunny right now. I can see. You know what I'm saying? It's nice as far as weather-wise and shit.
Let me be more
And
specific then. Since
please
Kobe,
do.
since Kobe passed, what's been the environment?
Oh, he said the K word. Oh, well, I'm in Bay Area, so the impact. Well, I mean, his passing has affected a lot of people, understandably so.
Mhm.
Um, but L.A. really took it because that was like his city.
Right.
And to be honest, I be in my own world so much just to give a fair assessment of that. Like
Yeah.
I have no clue. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay.
They're still licking their wounds from the Super Bowl up here, so I don't know.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know,
All right.
yeah,
Um. All right.
yeah.
So let's.
What's been? I'm curious. Because I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen you mention it, so I was curious as to like you know, uh, what's your whole take on the Kobe thing?
Which
As
part
far
of
as
it?
because there's a lot of shit going around. Hmm?
I say which part of it? Just the death.
Well, the death is what it is, right? I
Right.
mean, it's a passing, it's a transition. That's
Right.
what that is. But as far as all the other, because I've seen a lot of stuff, not so much now, but like a lot of stuff on my timeline about, the conspiracies and all of that. I won't say conspiracy necessarily, but these theories.
Well, matter of fact, I think that I wanted to bring that up anyway.
Uh huh.
He was part of. Let me just put this out here. I never liked Kobe Bryant, to be honest. I never really liked him. I never liked his arrogance, and that may offend a lot of people, but it is what it
You keeping it real, man. To
is.
me, to me, what would be fake is to say a bunch of nice shit just because the brothers done transitioned. Like
Right.
I have to agree with you on that. I've never been a fan
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the Lakers or Kobe,
Right.
but hey,
Yeah, so
so
I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and say a bunch of nice stuff about Kobe. The only thing that I never used to take away his talent. The brother could ball.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I never
Hmm.
liked his arrogance. I never liked the fact that he kind of denied he was from Philadelphia. He said he was from. He said he was
I did not know that.
from Upper Marion, which is a suburb. I could take the bus to Upper Marion. It's still part of Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
When he said that all those years ago, I was done with him then. So
hmm.
but I
Yeah.
mean he's still
Because
part of
anybody from Philly is going to say, I'm from Philly, not like
yeah,
Upper Miriam. It's
yeah,
kind of like, yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
I got you.
yeah.
I got you.
He said it like, that lowly part. You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
Hmm.
it is what it is. But he's part of that going into the conspiracy side. He's part of that Hollywood ring and everything. So if
Okay.
his if his going out or his transitioning was a part of that plan, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest. I don't really care. I don't really care.
My question for others who are like fussing about it, because I've seen people arguing about this in like occult groups. Occult groups seem to just be another word for argument centers, in
Hmm.
my opinion, a lot of times now. But I've seen a lot of people arguing about that, and I'm like, okay, whether it was or it wasn't, what are you gonna do about it? Like, so
Yeah.
it's that with the Grammy and then the Super Bowl halftime, and okay,
Okay.
so what are you gonna do about it? Like
Right.
how
Right.
does this, how's
People.
this translate?
Yeah, you
Huh?
know what I'm saying. I mean, the people have been acting like they knew him personally. Um, then you had Snoop going after Gayle King, and I stay away from that mess, man. Just being
Hmm.
real, you know. It
But
does.
I gotta say that you mentioned that though, because I've heard other little conspiracies around that afterwards too,
Mm,
and the way things happened. And as you know, in Hollywood and all that, you got your gatekeepers and you got your whole,
mm,
boule shit going on.
mm,
Pretty much, I think we could both agree on that.
mm.
Um, they put the clamp, they pimp hand way strong on Snoop. He went and talked all that. Next thing you know, he had his tail between his
He's
legs. Hey, I'm sorry.
apologizing. Yeah,
And the same time, his son came out as fully
yeah.
gay or
That's
whatever, and
yeah.
I heard rumors of a humiliation ritual and all that. And like honestly, I don't know. Once again, to reiterate what you said earlier, I don't care.
Right.
But I find it fascinating. Like, yo, he just turned his shit around like that.
Like
Someone
that.
got in his like
Yeah.
that.
He ain't want that
Go.
smoke.
He didn't want that fucking Oprah smoke, man. He ain't on that $1 billion shit, man. You know what I'm saying? That Oprah
Right.
$1 billion shit. That's
Right.
Long money. That
Yeah.
can make some things happen.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he got money, but you know what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was I just found that really interesting. Like immediately after he fucking tucks his tail between his legs, apologizes, and his son comes out and has like a blouse on and is just doing the most. I mean, which is
Hmm.
fine if that's what he really,
Hmm.
if that's him. Hey, so be it. But
Right.
I
Right.
just was like, wow,
Yeah.
total he humble pie. Just
Yeah.
like
Right. That humiliation ritual that you was just talking about, they do it to a
mhm,
lot of these celebrities that come out. Bill Cosby, R. Kelly. That's part of that humiliation. And you know, I think
absolutely.
that's what happened to Snoop. I guess I'm not sure. Again,
Exactly. I'm not sure. You can't prove it, but it's just
right?
like,
Yeah,
it's
it happened one right after the other, and I'm like, okay, yeah, okay,
yeah.
so whatever. All right,
Yeah.
so
That was
let me
too fast.
let me say hi to a couple people. I see Ori,
Right on.
Lel, Ra,
LEL. What's up, LEL?
Singer, Tammy. Hey, Tammy, Tamana, Ali, Bay.
Hey,
Yeah,
Tamana Ali.
yeah, Goldmine Graves. We just want to say hello to all y'all. I don't believe Shango is able to see the chat room.
I
So
can't say nothing. No.
yeah. So
But wait, what if I press this button here?
that's
Nope. Oh wait, live comments. I could see the live comments, but then I can't see you. So I'm gonna click back because I'll just trust you to read the comments. Like
okay.
it doesn't need
Yeah,
both of
I can
us. Yeah.
read. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. But other than that, I almost spent too much time on that, to be honest.
I feel you. I got you.
What has been going on with you, brother, magically? How
Oh,
you been doing since we last spoke?
oh man. Just building, changing directions. When I last spoke with you, I was like on the verge of kind of changing directions, and since then, it's taken me a little while to taper off certain things, but definitely headed in a great direction, expansion.
Okay.
Um, and sometimes expansion can be, testing what you're made out of and stuff, because it's like you say you want something, then when you get it, it's like,
Mhm.
oh shit. As far as it's like, it makes you kind of review your systems that you have in place,
Right.
and what got you here won't
Right.
get you there, type of
Right.
thing. So just re-examining, reassessing, and things like that. But
Okay.
other than that, fully blessed, all good, man. How about yourself?
Same here. Same here. Um, I like the direction actually that I see you going in.
Uh-huh.
For y'all that don't know, but particularly the ladies, I hope you don't mind me mentioning this, but Shango
Go ahead.
has a panty line.
Yep.
And that's
Pussycat
all this.
sorcery.
I'm
Pussycat
like,
sorcery. Yeah.
okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's actually, I haven't actually, I put some teasers out.
Okay.
I'm the type, man. I'll start something and then like, oh shit, I have another channel, something idea. And it's like,
Right.
I got to find a way to organize and get and finish and get and finish. That way things come out. But it actually was going to come out and then I paused it, but we're coming right out with that again.
Okay.
Pussycat sorcery. Yeah. For
Pussycat.
all the goddesses, these goddesses got, one of the most powerful mechanisms between their thighs. I'm sure we can both agree to that.
Oh,
So,
yeah, great.
you know,
I
yeah,
worship that shit all the time.
all day long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
that has the power to make niggas do just about anything. So,
Anything. Yeah.
all right.
Anything.
So, is that going to
Yeah.
be like? Are they? I just want to ask: is the panties going
Go
to
ahead.
be like spelled? Are they going to be enchanted or something like that? Or they just
Yeah. It's basically there will be other sigils and things like that. So you're putting that sigil close to, your power center, ladies. So
okay?
one of the first additions that we have is just got the success sigil, whatever that means to
Right.
you. Not that your coochie ain't successful already, but hey, we can always have more. That's how I look at it. So
How about that? How about that?
yeah. And nobody has to know. Nobody has to know. Yeah, but you get what I'm saying.
I
It's
do.
underneath. Yeah.
I do.
So.
Okay. So, do you, Mrs. Ray? That's not you, right?
Mhm. No, that's the wifey. Yeah.
Oh, hello, Miss
Yeah,
Shango.
she's tapping in. She's tapping in.
Okay. All right.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What? Anything else that you are bringing it out that you can?
Absolutely. We just a few weeks ago we dropped my most popular spells that I have done for clients as a service have
Mhm,
now been turned into a class. And those are the 3-day bonding spells.
mhm,
And I know you kind of shun love work and all that, and I get it.
mhm.
Trust me. And then there's the 3-day breakup spell. And these are like world famous, done for clients all over the world. So now they're actually classes. I'm also moving in that more direction to whereas, giving people the information, showing them how to do it, taking them how, because once you do it, you get that wisdom and knowledge versus having somebody do it for you. At
Mhm.
least that's what I'm trying to get across, but people still want me to do it personally. But like I stopped actually performing those rituals because, everything has its time, so
Right.
in the direction I'm moving in, I need to be more focused. And sometimes, those things will pile up,
Okay.
so it's like, yeah. So
Okay.
that's the
All right.
direction I'm moving in more. Yeah.
Okay. Because last year I was doing a whole lot of removals for people. I didn't
Nice.
get too much love work requests, but I was getting a whole lot of moves. So that required me to rest a lot last year too. So I'm not gonna see,
Yeah, man.
removing that energy takes some work. So
Yeah.
um, I'm not opposed to doing love work. As a matter of fact, for one of my clients, I did uh, I guess you would call it a binding. Yeah, and all I'm gonna say is that he wouldn't leave his woman's side. This is how strong
Mm-hmm.
this shit went. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So
it's
you
kind of
already know
strong.
how to bind and get down. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always tell them, hey, make sure you want what you say you want, because you got to remember, people, especially women, can change their mind. So 6 months from now, you go changing your mind. That binding ain't going to change its mind. You know what I'm saying? So you
Mhm.
want to be just sure. And some people are very impulsive. But what I found, kind of touching back on what you said, you know, every time you do a ritual, I kind of see it like and I'm sure you've heard that old saying, like boxers, every fight they leave a piece of themselves in the ring.
Mhm.
I kind of feel the same way, to whereas like at some point in time, like you said, you got to rest.
Mhm.
And I really feel it's important that you kind of draw your energy back from all these, depending on how many clients you've had, like, because
Mhm.
that's like a string. I look at it like a string attaching me to them, attaching me
Mhm.
to them. And I gotta, that shit can get overwhelming. That
Absolutely,
aspect of the game, nobody really talks about that, but that shit can get overwhelming, man.
it
You got your
does.
energy, you
Mhm.
got your hands in all these pots, energetically speaking,
Mhm.
and they're drawing on your energy because you're doing something for them. And it's like, fuck, you definitely got to cleanse, and you got to keep your shit up if you're going to be doing this, you know.
So speaking of that, how do you take your breaks? If you don't mind sharing, do you just
I don't
rest?
mind. Sometimes one main way I'll do turn the fucking phone off.
Mm,
Turn the goddamn phone off, number one, because that's
mm,
another form of a connection. You know, whether it's a psychic connection,
mm,
whether it's through text or
mm.
email that they're reaching out, or maybe they're calling you, or depending on how you have it set up. But that's one thing. But the other thing is, of course, I might do a major cleansing or like a Bobby Hemmett bath. That's a really powerful
I love it.
abrasive cleansing,
I love it. Hmm.
and you have to take. Yeah, I love it too. But I noticed that like you have to take about a day or two or three once you do that bath. You don't want to do nothing if you're doing that bath, you know, because it strips away
Everything.
all that garbage,
Hmm.
all
Hmm.
that shit.
I've actually given
So
that out a lot too. I've given that bath out a lot over the years,
me too,
and
me
I
too.
use it myself like once every other month. You know,
Right, exactly.
yeah.
You said the key once every month, like to do it every 2 weeks or something. That's way too fucking much for that
Too
bath,
much.
you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's funny you say that though about removal work, because where I'm really getting, and I guess I'll kind of let a little bit of the cat out the bag here.
Okay.
It's kind of like coaching, but it's because there's an aspect of coaching to it. But breaking generational curses is another thing that I'm really being, and in a sense, that's kind of like removal because
Mm-hmm.
um,
It is.
a lot of the, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was agreeing with you. That's all.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I don't know, my spirit has just been really moving me in that direction to the point where it's like I almost have to do it now. So I haven't officially come out with that, but yeah, I thought I'd drp an exclusive on Magick
Okay.
Le Croix, But yeah, that's going to be. I could see a lot of work happening that way. I'd probably want to focus most of my actual service work in
Mm-hmm.
that direction.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
yeah. Hmm.
All right. So
So I just want to say one last thing too. If
sure, sure.
if to the people out there, if you've experienced a lot of your spells not working, you just can't fucking get momentum in certain areas, usually in one area. There's a lot of misdiagnosis of an actual curse. We can't forget also that we curse ourselves.
Mm,
We create these thought forms, and they start taking on a life of its own. You know what I mean? So whether it's generational or more self-invoked, um,
okay.
if things just ain't going right, you definitely want to look in that direction to
Right.
especially if it's something that maybe your parents went through or one of your parents went through, one of your grandparents. That's another example of a generational curse.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hmm.
I did a couple of those last year, and divination is real important when you're dealing with that. You want to make sure this is what you're dealing with, right? And
Absolutely.
one of the clients, their curse went back like 5 generations. I mean, it was that.
Hmm.
I said somebody hurt somebody, and they cursed the hell out of y'all. I mean, none of the females were having luck in love or something. Something.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into the specifics of just the gist of it, but um, yeah, that is a removal, and that takes a lot of work. And like I said,
It
I've
does.
done that a couple times last year. Where I had to do like a mini vacation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I totally
Yeah.
agree with you on that. Yeah. Um,
If you can, depending on your situation, like ideally, I would love to take like a month off.
I would
But
love to do
right
that.
now I'm just like a shark, and I do kind of have to keep going. I mean, I
Right.
can take smaller breaks and
Right.
maybe take a weekly break of like a day or two,
Hmm.
but that's
Hmm.
about the extent of it right now for me.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I think the most I've ever taken at a time was like maybe 3 days. And then
mhm,
when I take that long of a break, I'm so used to doing stuff that it feels strange if I don't do
it does.
something. in a day. So yeah, I would love. I don't know what to do with myself. If I took a month off, like what the hell I'm gonna do?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't think that would be that hard for me. I love the nothingness. Like my theory is now, like if you're gonna work, do that 100%. If you're gonna rest, do that shit 100%. Like,
Hmm.
don't be the preacher who's thinking about making love to his wife while he's preaching and thinking about preaching while he's making love to his wife. You know what I'm
I like that analogy. I like that
saying? Yeah,
analogy.
yeah,
Um,
man.
so let's talk about, since you do that, do you, some
Mhm.
of your jewelry that you wear, is it
Yeah.
like spelled? Is it enchanted? Like
Everything is
everything?
enchanted, just like with you, man. Like I
Yeah,
would already know. If I was to see you and not know you, I'd be like, everything is enchanted. Shit, everything.
yeah, absolutely. And that helps
Earrings,
you.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah, and that helps you keep your energy. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
okay. So with that being said, we got a lot of trendiness going on with the craft. You know,
Yeah.
everybody's a witch these days. Yeah, I see the way you look at. Everybody's a witch. Everybody's an occultist. And what's your take on that? Who side out
when
first?
you know, as as things begin to grow, it's going to be a natural. It's like almost when rap music. Remember when rap music was, it was more exclusive, like you felt it was yours.
Hmm.
Uh-oh. Can you still see me, or am I breaking up here? I'm
No,
frozen over here.
you're fine.
Okay. Remember how it felt like yours, and then like once it went mainstream, it didn't feel like yours no more. Like as far as just
Absolutely.
as a culture, you know what I
Right.
mean? And I mean, I still felt like it was mine, but I was just like, nah, there's too many guests in the house now. Like it's
Yeah.
just kind of like whatever. But
Yeah. It's
I mean, that's you kind of got to expect that, man. Like, and I think a lot of people though are doing it for either some type of notoriety, or they seem to think that it's like a quick way to get rich, which it is not. you know?
yeah. It's this disconcerting to, I know I don't own the traditions, not at all.
Right,
But
right.
um to find people like us, it was rare. It was only a few of us doing this.
Yeah,
Now it's it's trendy, like I said. Everybody wants to be this cool witch, this cool occultist. The problem I see with that is that it's too many fakes, too many pretenders, and you still with me? Uh-oh, I think I lost him. Hey, what's up, Raya? I'm waiting for Shango to come back online. I think he froze up. Door pause, huh? Okay, so while I'm waiting for Shango to come back, Tammy says, what I realized is doing a coffee bath. It awakens the root chakra, solar plexus, and sacral chakra to be able to create and make your spells work with good intentions, in addition to peppermint tea. I've not heard of a coffee bath. I don't doubt it. Can y'all let me know if y'all see the same thing that I see, and it's like Shango's feed is kind of buffering? Can y'all see that? Or maybe the wife can jump in here. Everybody here? Still see 10 people. Okay, thanks, Raya. I appreciate it. I think he froze up though. So, any questions y'all got for me or Shango? Just type it in there. Oh man, looks like he disappeared. Let me see if I can get him back real quick. Y'all bear with us. Y'all know how these things work. Let's see if we can get Shango back. Tiger's Bloodbath. Not heard that one either. Oh, StreamYard does this all the time. My very first time using StreamYard. I like it. Honestly, it's very simple because YouTube has made it really difficult right now to oh, I see.
Shut up. Sorry about that, man.
Right,
I don't know what's going on with this fucking
it's
connection.
It's okay. Raya Black by Design says StreamYard does this all the time, so no worries.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. This is our first time. Bear with us, people. We don't know. This is our first time. I was telling them.
You were telling them about the YouTube shit, huh? How they go and just change everything.
Yeah, they made it so difficult to do that. You know, with StreamYard,
had a real good thing, man. You had a real good thing. You know what I mean?
It up. Shit. You know what I'm saying? They just fucked it up.
How can we complicate it? Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Dumb motherfuckers.
Goddamn. You understand me? Shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But
what we were talking about,
I'll come back
this
to
whole
Gold Mine with your question as soon as Shango finishes.
Yeah, we were talking about the state of thing, how everybody now it's a trendy thing. You got celebrities now people thinking these celebrities are deep because they see them with some sage. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, but hey, if for some it's a start, then it's a start. It's it's got its pluses and minuses. I don't demonize it, but at the same time, it's just there's a lot of fuckery. You just have to be careful, people just jumping on the scene and all of a sudden just, I get it, like the whole fake it till you make it thing, or kind of proclaiming yourself because you got to believe it first. But I mean, I don't know, man. When you're providing something for somebody, you should have a little bit of experience under your belt before you just go,
That is my problem right there. That is my problem because I'm seeing a lot of people who started off, and remember our first group, the Magical Elite.
Again.
I know they were there and they didn't know what the hell they was talking about, but now I see them teaching people and offering they opening businesses with this. They jumping on the bat. That is my problem with it. If you don't know what you're doing, how you gonna teach somebody else this shit? So that shows no respect for the craft at all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to get on a tangent here because you know I already know how I feel about that. But I'm seeing a lot of that, and that is my whole problem. Because if you see somebody doing a spell for $5, Dora pause.
Man. Let us take this Dora pause.
You know what I'm saying?
A moment of Dora for all them, Yeah, man. It's just kind of like I look at it and I'm just like, and then of course, you get those clients who went to a few of those, and by the time they reach you, they might be a little bit more jaded, or they might be, and it's like, if you see $5, are you going to go to a $5 oil change? I don't know about you, but I mean, that sounds really great.
No.
But
no. Here's the thing, though. What if you get, okay, I see the cheapness of it, okay? And this is what this is my guess. You get a lot of people, you're going to get a lot of customers who, of course, they're going to want a $5 spell, right? But then you got to produce results for that $5 spell. You see what I'm saying? So what if you don't come up with the results? Then you got a lot of people mad at you also. See what I'm saying? I think this is the logic. These people, I saw $5 and said, what kind of fucking spell? My candles will add up to that much. There's more than that. You know what I'm saying? So you get in.
Where do you live in Where do you live in Bangladesh or something? Where that $5 is like $100 or some shit? Like
exactly. Yeah. So anyway, that was my problem with it. So.
Yeah, man. That's that part is going to continue. I have a prophecy. That part is going to continue to.
Right.
It's going to continue to fuck up the game. It's going to get worse to the point where legal shit may be coming. I mean, it's already illegal in certain states to do certain things, like in New York, to have a shop that says, "Hey, you're a psychic. Do psychic readings," or I don't want to be misquoted. I know that it's illegal and it's becoming more increasingly illegal in certain places. And I think a lot of the reason is because of people who are now thinking it's trendy, just trying to fucking get over, you know.
Right.
Now we do got to admit this. Before all this internet shit, there was always a number. Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
You're fine. I can see you.
Okay, cool. Because I keep going in and out. I just want to make sure. There's always been a large number of hucksters, snake oil salesmen, and con artists within the psychic and spiritual provider service world. You know, it's just going to get worse though, because the internet allows anybody to just.
I like what Wifey just said. Wifey just said that she was addressing Tammy. She said, "There's always something to learn. You never get to the end of it." Bravo.
Absolutely.
Bravo, Mrs. Ray. Absolutely. Never stop learning.
Yes. You never do.
Right.
That's when you're fucking up if you think you know it all.
Yeah.
If you think you know it all, you done fucked up.
That's the second part of my problem. Once they read one book, then they think they got it all. When the masters spent their entire lives learning. You see what I'm saying? So, like you said, though, I kind of hope that's not the case, but I agree with you. It's just going to get more fucked up.
I see, yeah. To the point where they're going to really, I feel like they're really, as far as regulations go, it's not going to be the free party that it was. You know what I mean? As far as just as we've known it all this time, I think it's going to get definitely more. And then, you know, you got these other people who be like, and I'm not trying to put anybody on blast, but it's like, I kind of get why in some ways you would do this, but like, for example, and you're going to start shaking your head on this, but like, I'm sorry, but if your species was not the one who originated these, you know, or at least coagulated and made amalgamated these sciences so people could actually learn them, I'm not going to pay you to certify me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Go fuck yourself. Okay. You know.
Absolutely.
How about that? You know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying at, and you know where I'm getting at, right? On this shit, right?
I do.
Yeah. Without giving anybody any life or any shine, I'm just like, who fucking made you the authority to say? Yeah, just because you get a collection of people who are kind of known, that don't make you a fucking authority. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be able to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I had to say that.
I'm glad you said it. Applause, brother.
Yeah.
Applause.
Yes. Why, thank you. Yeah.
All right. So let me try and get to some of these people's questions. S. Alexander says, I know I'm behind y'all, but goodbye. It's a lot of people out here not knowing what they are doing and messing themselves and their loved ones up. Absolutely. There are rules to this. Absolutely. Have you ever heard of a tiger bloodbath?
No. That's new to me. Is that a Taoist thing?
No. So Brother Goldmine asked this question. He says, what about tiger's bloodbath? I never heard of that.
Fascinating. I'm actually going to learn something new from this because I've never heard of it, and I always welcome. You know, it sounds like a powerful ass bath, man. You know what I'm saying? Tiger's blood bath. I wonder if that has to do with the tiger's blood alcohol, because I think there's I always hear Noriega on Drink Champs talking about tiger's blood or tiger's balm. It's like a type of drink, but it's supposed to, you know, be good for your yang or some shit like that. But I don't know. I don't know. Yang health is important, you know.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm sure these ladies would agree, you know, like
absolutely. Okay, so I do have a question. The Chick Geek says, can someone explain whether everybody has spiritual gift? She says, in parentheses, I'm asking because everybody is magical these days.
I would say my personal take on that is Yes, for the most part, they're
Agree.
probably dormant. Just like if you have muscles
Hmm.
and you've never worked out, how you going to see your rear delts? You know what I'm saying? But if you
Right.
work them out, obviously, then you're going to see them eventually. So, kind of in the same way, I think everybody has the potential. Not everybody's going to have the probability because they're not going to put the work in. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
To realize that. But I would say yes, just to
Okay.
be fair. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Let me add on to that. My personal opinion is, yeah, everybody has the potential. Everybody has the potential, and but like you said, not everybody's. Somebody said this. Ra Singer says not everyone is called to practice magic, and this is absolutely true.
True.
You know what
True.
I'm saying? But yeah, everybody has the potential, but not everybody's going to put in the long ass work that it takes to become an adept, a master, or what have you. You see what I'm saying?
That
So
goes with anything. We're in
right,
the instant gratification generation
right,
and day and age. So
right.
if you say anything about work, people just it's
It's,
nobody wants to hear that shit. They don't
uh,
want to hear the W word, man. They don't want to hear it at
they
all.
don't. They don't. Some of the things that I have experienced personally in my 20 plus years was scared the shit out of people. Some of the astral travel that I've had was scared the shit out of people. There's levels to this shit, and especially the kind of dark work that I do. I mean, I constantly had to put myself in danger, spiritual danger, to get to the level where I'm at now. I'm not bragging or anything, but that's a result of
Hmm.
putting all that work in. Now, even like we was talking about earlier, even if I don't practice, if I take a break, I still read every day,
Hmm.
every single day. I
Yeah.
had books beside me. Like, this is one of the best occult books that you can have. It's the Grimorium Verum. Okay, this
Hmm.
is one of those old grimoires. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, so I'm constantly learning, constantly
That's
reading.
what I like about you. You always got the physical. I mean, you got PDFs up the wazoo, but you always got the physical books. You know what I mean, in hand.
Appreciate
Like
that.
when you show a book, you're not showing a screen. You're showing the book. You know,
Oh,
likes that.
thank you. I appreciate
Yes,
that.
yes, yes,
This is another book.
yes,
Good
yes,
one.
yes.
Since we're speaking about books, The Secret Lore of Magic.
What's that one?
The Secret Lore of
Ah,
Magic
uh-huh.
by
Idris
Idris
Shah. I heard
Shah.
that. That's a great
Yeah,
fucking book. Yeah.
it is. It is. So I mean, this like you say, instant gratification. This generation don't even want to read either. So
Oh fuck no.
you know,
No.
so
If you're gonna just depend on YouTube, and for that matter, even Google,
yeah,
there you got to get to the source information. You know what I mean?
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so I am. Tawanda Vance says that's why more people
TV.
starting to say for entertainment purposes only. Absolutely. Uh,
Mhm.
Tammy says her husband says it's a tiger ball on drink camps they drink.
I just said that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, you did say that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
So
making
that is the same
it
thing we talking about. Oh, okay.
up.
It makes sense. You could make a bath with that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That
Oh,
makes
hey,
sense.
hey, Aisha. The chick Greek geek is Aisha. Okay, so I'm still trying to catch up here. Um,
I'll tell you guys. I'll give you guys a little something that's like a lot of people don't know about, but I found this out years ago. I'm going to tell you a cleanser that you can do now. If you don't have a spray bottle and you don't, whatever, uh, I know it's going to sound funny, but Lysol is a great auric cleanser. I know it doesn't make sense. I mean, of course, you want to use it a little light. I'm not talking about drench yourself and do it every 5 minutes, but like you do that every other day or so, that'll keep your aura squeaky clean. Like your thumb will squeak on it, you
like,
know? So,
so that is you crack me up with that, and that's what I like about you is that you have a way with words that be cracking me the fuck up. I think you said on your video, kick your aura's ass, or keep your aura's ass clean or something like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot what you
Some
said.
people out there, yeah.
So
Their
you're
auras got dingleberries. Some of these niggas their auras got dingleberries. You know, like just you gotta bathe, bro. You gotta
yeah,
bathe. You know,
yeah.
clean that
Um,
shit.
I started using your suggestion. You know, uh,
Uh-huh.
like I've used a couple of different. See, I'm the kind of person I take shit from everywhere, from TV shows, from books, from other
Absolutely.
practitioners. You know, like right now I'm looking at Sabrina. I know a black man looking at Sabrina, the
Are you
chilling
watching
adventure.
Netflix on that?
Huh?
Are you watching her on Netflix?
I am. I am.
I see, I see. Well, she done grown up now. You know what I mean? So hey,
A lot of
nah. But
magical secrets.
there's things they be dropping shit in these fucking shows. We've had this conversation like years and years ago,
Mm-hmm.
which is why in some of the groups you would even say, hey, y'all check this show out or do
Right.
whatever because they're dropping shit in this show. You know?
Right. Right. Absolutely. That
Mm-hmm.
is the reason that I watched the chilling adventures of Sabrina. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We're actually watching The Order right now, which is
How is
pretty
that?
good.
Because that is in my
It's
queue.
cool.
It's cool.
It's cool. Yeah, it's cool. I'd say it's about a 6 to 7. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm not finished with the first season yet, so I can't put the hammer down as far as until I finish it and then see if it how it
Okay.
holds up.
Okay.
How
Any
many
other?
times have you started? How many times have you started watching something and it started off great, and as it goes through the season, it just gets shitty, and you're just like, "Fuck, man, I done wasted a whole lot of time already
A
on
lot.
this shit."
A lot. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything others like suggestions for those who are watching as far as shows that they can get secrets from? Anything?
Actually, yeah, I'm thinking the one that actually stands out in mind is the wife's favorite one. We just watched this one called The Order. I think no, the key. It has something to do with a key. If you go on Netflix, it's like a new show. You'll see a big advertisement for it. It has something to do with a key, and I forgot the damn name. But it's about this house that has a bunch of keys hidden in it, and each key unlocks a certain magical power. And so you take the key and you can either you stick it in the back of your neck, or you can, put these keys places and it unlocks shit. They had one that I was looking at. She took somebody into her mind,
Lock and Key.
and it looked like a bit, huh? Yeah, Lock and Key.
Faith is the one who just typed it in there and said Lock and Key. That's the name of
That
it.
one.
Okay.
That's the one.
Okay.
That's the one. They be dropping hella shit. But admittedly, I was hella high usually watching it, and then things would start to transpire between me and the missus, whereas I'd miss shit because I was doing more important things, so. But it was good. It was real. I gotta watch it again. It was real. I'm telling you, I think you'll like that one, man.
See, this is why me and my missus, if I'm watching a magical show, I do it by myself because
Yeah, man.
things might start.
You know what? That's real talk. If you really about it, if you're gonna really glean something out of the show, you might want to watch it by yourself,
Right.
And maybe not high, or maybe high. I don't know, but I know me. Weed and Yanni together is a happy Shango. You know what I mean? That's just me. That's just me.
Right. Speaking of your name, do you still work with the Orishas? You still work with them? Like Shango?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, I was just talking with Elegua. Elegua's just I know for you it's more Papa Legba, and I'm cool with Papa Legba too. But for some reason, the connection with Elegua has always been like undeniable. So, you go where they love you. You know what I'm saying? As they say.
Absolutely.
So,
I've only seen somebody talk about and work with Elehua is the way I say it. Not that you're wrong. That's the way I pronounce it. True Blood is the only place I've seen somebody talk about Elehua like that.
Really?
Yeah, it was Lafayette's boyfriend, who was a Santero.
See, now I don't know any of the characters, and it's funny because my daughters have been trying to get me to watch this show for years. They're like, "You got to watch it." Dad, you're into all this spooky shit. Like, you'll really like it, you know, because they
Mm,
know what I do. You know, they know their
okay.
dad is not normal. So, but they've been telling me about that. So I got to watch that show, man. I'm
Let me
way
ask
behind.
you this also. Your hair is laid, by the way, brother to brother.
Oh, well, thank you. It's
Yeah,
needing some attention right now. I got don't mind the flyaways, you know what I mean? So appreciate it.
it looks good though, bro.
Right on, sir.
Do you get any flack about your hair?
Not really.
The
When you
only
live in your
reason
own world, you don't get too much flack. I've been busy
Thank you.
creating my own world. Like, I swear to God, like when I say I'm in my own world,
I get
shit.
it.
Like,
I get it.
there's
I
times I
get it.
don't even go outside sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I have to just like I gotta get myself outside more. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's just going
yeah.
through one of them phases.
I don't like people. I'm very antisocial. I mean, it's nice right now, and here I am in the house. I've been in the house all day long. So anyway, um,
Yeah.
the reason that I asked that question was because it seems like maybe this is a social experiment. I don't know, but there's a lot of text, a lot of not text, but a lot of students being suspended from school because
Oh
of
yeah.
their hair being in locks. Is it up
Yeah.
there? Um,
That's that's
you have any
that's
thoughts on that?
that's just ultimate fuckery. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Mhm.
what did they say? I seen somebody say, well, in that case, you're like man buns and whatever other shit, perm blonde hair or something should be regulated too. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like, how are
right.
you going to tell somebody that what naturally goes out their head is wrong or it's not acceptable? To me,
This
that's just
is one of the ways in which these people think it is their God given right to govern over melanated people. That's the best way that I can put that.
yeah.
And our hair was always seen as a source of immeasurable spiritual strength and power. Remember when they first conquered the so-called Native Americans, the first thing they did was cut their
Shave their
hair.
heads.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So it's just ongoing fuckery, like you said.
Hmm.
I just wanted to know what your thoughts were on that. I mean, plus you're a grown man. I'm sure nobody's
Yeah.
gonna say nothing to you based
I
on
mean,
you know.
I still get glances sometimes, or you know, the
Mhm.
police or whatever. But like, nobody gets in my bubble. You know what I mean? And, like,
Right,
I don't care. You can look all you want, take a picture, do whatever. Like, that's
right,
fine. But
right,
just don't fuck
right.
with me. That's
Yeah,
all. You know.
as we know,
Yeah.
Shango was a fucking warrior. He wasn't to be played with.
That axe cuts both ways. That's why it's double sided. You know what I
Right.
mean? Shit. So
We have a
whoosh
question.
whoosh.
Could you both please give your opinion on having a mental altar versus a tangible altar? That's a good
Oh, now
question.
you're coming into my neighborhood. Now
Yeah,
you're in my
that's a good question.
neighborhood.
That is a good question. Now,
Well,
you got the
I will
floor.
say this. Well, okay. I've already released several products that deal with, they're like hypno spells, you know. So the premise is I can also call them psychic spells because you do these spells within the sacred altar of your own mind.
Okay.
So I'm right with you on that because whether you have I mean, the purpose to me of a physical altar is to kind of correspond with, you're always going to have a mental altar even if you have an out. How can you have one outside of your body but not in your mind? Like,
Mhm,
it has to work in
mhm,
conjunction, you know. So
mhm,
I think it's awesome. I love it because sometimes you're in a position where you don't have herbs, candles, goat heads, you know, all this other shit, and you have to get something done.
mhm,
You're the source of the power, not the candles, not the herbs, not anything else. Yes, these things do have certain frequencies of ashe or life force energy, if you will,
mhm.
but your mind is what activates those things in producing a result for you. They're not going to do them by themselves, you know.
Okay. Good question. Good answer.
Yeah.
I
Why?
guess.
Thank you. That's just my take on it. Yeah.
All right. So I can answer that same question. For me, the physical altar, and this is something a level I've been trying to get to for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
just to have a completely mental altar, or
Mm-hmm.
what I like to term instantaneous magic. The altar is nothing more than the representative of your own universe. They represent the elements in your will. You see what I'm saying? But I like what you said, that you said, how you gonna have a physical without a mental one? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There are some magicians that I know who have, they completely mental altars. They don't do rituals. They don't care of a table. They're constantly moving. So this is why they have that mental. But I think it took them a minute to get to that point. So both have their advantages. But I would say that if you are a budding occultist, magician, witch, sorcerer, warlock, whatever you want to call it, that's one of the most important things you can have is an altar. You see what I'm saying? Yep. There are levels to this, and a mental altar versus a tangible physical altar. There are benefits to having both or one or the other. But
I think you definitely, in some ways, I would almost say, I think especially like you said, if you're new, you want the physical also because it helps you to focus.
Right.
So if you're focusing, what are you using? Your mind. You know what I mean? So it's like, it comes back to that anyways. So like, it's like, why not have both? You know, but if you're just starting off, definitely there's something about, touching certain things, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I got these implements here and touching certain things. It's multisensory. Some people, when they start off, they may not have the focus to have an astral altar room or anything, so however you got to get it done, that's my thing,
Right.
Whatever works for you.
Exactly. I use, when I was practicing remote viewing, to do divination when I have cards. If I have my cards, there's a method that one of my mentors taught me on remote viewing, and it involved imagining going to a physical altar, my ritual space. So I think that's a form of having a mental altar there.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there are benefits to having both of them. I see Swords Witch is in the house. Tawanda. Tawanda says my mental altar is way more creative than my physical one, but I'm working on that. Well, I would think so, because you can continue adding to it without having to physically do so.
You can do whatever you want. It can be as big as you want. It can be a tiny room. It can change every time you go there.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Absolutely. Ross Singer says there's a great book on instant magic. Please type that out, whatever that is. And the chick, Aisha, says, why do you feel that is one of the most important things to have? How can I explain that? What else are you going to have if you don't have an altar? I mean, if you're an occult, what exactly are you going to use to practice magic if it's not an altar where you can have all the elements represented: earth, air, fire, water? And
you can also do this. If I may add to that real quick, not to cut you off, brother, but
go ahead.
If you look at the altar as an objective version of your mind, because in all things, you can't exclude the mind. I don't care what spirit you're working with. I don't care whatever. If they're communicating with you, the apparatus that they're using is your mind, what you call your mind. So if you look at the altar as basically like my mind turned inside out and I took my mind and I made it physical, then you can start to see the relation and the correlation, how they really do work together. You know what I mean? You can't separate it. You know what I mean? So an altar is also a focal point. So let's say you have a love altar. When you go to that altar, what time it is. You know what I mean? Like, so it works on a whole lot of different levels, in my opinion. I'm sorry, though. Go ahead and continue that.
No, valid opinion. You actually finished my thought for me. So we both agree on that. And
I saved you some work, brother. All right.
So how many of y'all haven't licked that like button? Come on, guys, let's give these
Right.
gentlemen some love. Oh, I think you
Crack
got liked.
to cracking all the way back. Yeah. Click that damn like button. Come on, it's free, man. It's free. That's the
Oh,
best free tip you can give is lick that like button.
right. Swords Witch says the altar is to alter your human mind. Just adding what you just said. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for
Yep.
that. Ross Singer says it is actually called Instant Magic by an author named Christopher Penczak. He is Wiccan.
Why do I know that damn? I
I
either
know that
have
name.
that book.
I know that
I
name.
know that name.
So do I. He is Wiccan, but the book can be applied to any tradition. That is one of the things you want to do anyway. This is why
Mm-hmm.
I think, in my opinion, it's good to have so many resources because you're supposed to take all these pieces to this puzzle and put it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have over 1,000 PDFs. I have over 200 physical books. But I take in creating my own tradition. I'm actually working on a book, the Ultimate Grimoire, and
Mm.
it's just good to have stuff that you can study. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You
Um,
want to be the Bruce Lee of this occult shit and take
Absolutely.
what you can use right now and just leave the rest. And
Right.
if you need it later, it'll be there. You come back to it or whatever. But yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Did you ever find out about those homeless women who were arrested? Did you ever?
No, man, I did not actually. I know. I'm like I said, I'd be out of touch like a mug as far as like
Me too. Me too.
yeah, about shit like that. Last no, I to be honest, just to keep it short on that. No, I haven't. I'm sure it was probably some dumbass shit,
It was.
unnecessary shit
It
as it
was.
usually always is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It
But
was just, I just thought it was interesting, and I think it happened right where you're at. So that's what I thought. And but I'm with you. I'm really out of touch on stuff. Uh, the All Star game was on last night, and I don't even watch that no more. You know what I'm saying?
mhm, yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, I'm in my boat.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But you can bet every week, every other day, there's going to be something, and that's why I unplugged a long time ago. Is just because like the sensationalism, them trying to engage your emotions. They specifically put things in your face that you're going to have an emotional, reaction to. That's obviously by design. So I just opted out. Like, okay, at some point in time, I was like, I'm just not playing this shit. Not that I don't care. Like, if I seen somebody in my real life, then obviously that's one thing. But
Mhm.
um, it's just like, man, there's always something you can get carried away about, or people start posting a bunch of shit about it and all this, and I get it. I mean, I guess that has its place, but just for me, like, I
Mhm.
know what they're trying to do, so I'm
Mhm.
just not playing.
Right.
I'm
Right.
just not playing.
Do you have
Yeah.
a main practice anymore? Do you prefer one tradition over another? Are you just jack of all trades?
Right now, I can't necessarily say. I still, once again, I dip back on hoodoo a lot. I never get necessarily too far. There's always something to learn. Um, Taoism again, still,
Mm. Mhm.
I'm actually I reworking the Palos have been calling me again. So it's going to another thing. I can just tell. So I'm like, okay, just give me a minute. I'll be with y'all in a second. But
Right.
yeah, so I don't have anything that like is like my religious go-to, if you will.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a
So
lot of experimenting and shit and doing things
right,
that shouldn't work and see if they do. You know what I mean?
right,
Like just stuff
right.
like that too.
You still fucking with the playing cards, right?
Bang. Oh wait. Bang. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
How
Do you still
important?
do readings, sir?
I do.
Like
Yeah, right
as
here
a service?
as a service. I do. Um,
Okay.
I do. I'm gonna actually start doing general readings on here. Um,
Uh-huh.
so yeah, I still do readings.
Yeah.
If y'all didn't
But
know,
I got a question though. I got a question. I got to ask you
sure,
before you say anything.
sure.
Do you like doing them?
Readings. It depends.
Yes. Be
It
honest.
depends. It depends. It
Right.
depends.
Right.
I don't know. I don't like fucking with people. Period. I know that's a bad way to advertise myself.
That's
I
some
know
Virgo
that
shit. Yeah.
it is. It is. It is. It's just
Nah.
because I still get people doing retarded shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's a bad way to advertise myself, but it is what it is. I always try to keep it real. So
It depends on how you look at it. Some people can say, you know what, that's an honest man right there. I'll deal with him. He'll probably
right,
tell me the real,
yeah.
fluff me up.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
I found when I was on one of those um, paid tarot services, uh,
Yeah.
based out of California. I noticed that the people
Dude, you fuck
they
with them? Clean. What's the name? King? Were you on King?
no, not King. I tried to get on there and they banned me for some
Kajamba?
Kanzaba. That's
What's
it.
that?
I was in that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
and uh, King kicked me off. Said that I would never be there. I mean, for no reason whatsoever. All I did was apply with them, and they automatically did not want me. And I was like, wow, what the fuck did I do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I noticed that services like that, people go to services like that when they want the people there will tell them what they want to hear. Is what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I'm not about to
Yeah.
do that. You know, if you come to me for a reading, I'm going to give you an honest one. You know,
Absolutely.
I see
I
that.
almost got hired with California Psychics years and years ago, you know.
I thought about it. I thought about it, and I
Hey
said,
man, they don't pay shit, man. All of them rob their readers, man. You're gonna be working like it's like a taxi driver thing almost. Like you're gonna be working at least 12 hours if
"Oh
you really want to
hell,
make anything. You
couldn't
know,
do that."
nah, fuck that.
Yeah. Swords Witch says that's because the emotions create reality. Emotions make the thoughts manifest faster. That is correct.
Um,
Absolutely correct. The chick geek Aisha says, "How does one know if they are called to magic?" You want to take that one?
Why sure. I would just say it like this, man. Like your natural, if you find yourself drawn to the occult section, if you find yourself constantly like drawn because you light up when you think about it, or I want this new book, or even getting down with your practice. Maybe you're just doing candle magic or whatever, like, or whatever it is, whatever field in the occult. Then I believe like it's not there on accident. You have that fire for it for a reason. Now, some people, they might mistake that fire as a love for the occult, but it's not really love for the occult. It's more like, hey, can I get some type of attention by saying I do this? If I
Mm-hmm.
fucking throw a basketball and I get attention, I'm gonna go do that. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
they just want attention. So there is a difference. But if you have that genuine, authentic interest and you want to learn just because you want to learn, you got it. In my opinion, that's like one of the easiest litmus tests that if you got that excitement and passion for it, you
Mm-hmm.
know just for what it is, just to know. I just want to know. I want to read. I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got it, man. I think then you definitely
I
got some type of.
I agree with that. But I'll to add to that, I would say if you're constantly dreaming of these deities, by the way, that is one of the ways that they communicate with us through our
That
dreams.
is definitely,
If you keep
definitely,
dreaming
man.
of
Definitely.
deities, if you keep having, certain spiritual signs, you can only avoid it for so long.
Hmm.
Eventually, and like you said, if you enjoy it, if you have a passion for it, that's how you know. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing this just for attention, for
Do
likes,
something else, man. Why don't you
yeah,
grab a Bible and be a Christian or something at
or
least? God
something,
damn it. Don't fuck our shit up. You know what I mean? Like, go do
right,
that, man. Shit.
right,
Go be a fucking an eccentric Mormon or something. You know what I mean? You want attention? Like shit.
right. All right. So let me see if there's any other questions. It's another reader that talks about King. I think that's how it's spelled. Um, now I think they done ran out of questions here. Or I'm eclectic with my magic too, but I naturally incorporated with the African and Native aspects of my heritage. And this comes from Tawanda Vance. Okay. That's what you should do. That's what you should do. You see what I'm saying? Can you add on to that, Shango, while I let my cat out?
Oh, sure, go ahead. Well, TV, you're an OG. You already know TV. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I do agree too. Like in magic wise, as far more or less spirit wise, if you're going to be dealing with spirits, you definitely want to tap in with your ancestors, man. Like you want to tap in with them first and foremost. As a line of defense, but also they're going to make sure that certain information finds its way there too, because your ancestors can open and close your roads, in my opinion, better than any fucking gateway deity. You know what I mean? So it would behoove, that's one of my favorite words too, anybody to start there. They can also be like your guides and tutors as well along the way, and you're going to get more. You're going to gather more as you deal with this spirit of that person or this whatever. Like it just adds up till you get that momentum.
Are these your tips for a beginner? That's what you were saying?
I would say so, I guess. Yeah, like as far as spirits, dealing with spirits. If you're going to deal with spirits, I would say also first and foremost, deal with your ancestors, your ancestral spirits first, before you just go poking around and shit, because there are some trickster and malevolent energies out there that you want to at least just be careful about, or be aware of. I'll say like that.
And that's when I give my classes, one of the first assignments that I give my students is to work with the ancestors for at least a week till you start seeing stuff, till you start having dreams. I have them build an ancestral altar as an assignment so that they can get started. Because like Shango said, that's one of that's one of the first things you should do is fuck with your ancestors first before fucking with any of these deities. Because like Shango said, there's some malevolent ones and we got plenty of tricksters out there.
Yeah.
If you declare things, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was reading the chat room. It says,
yeah, I was just like that's an understatement. It's just like people, like you got some forthright, honest people, and you got a lot of bullshitters too, So in the spirit realm, where there's just probably more there's so much more in the spirit world than there is in the physical human world as far as humans on Earth, So like you have to run the gamut of different types of spirits. You're going to encounter spirits that talk shit, that will say anything to you just to get some offerings or to get something, you know what I mean? So, and plus, you also want to make sure that your altars, when you're leaving food out and shit, you don't get no scragglers trying to get in there and get your ancestors shit, stuff like that too. But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. The chat room is kind of lit right now. When you say deal with your ancestors, what are your suggestions? Well, just like we were just saying, try and contact your ancestors first. That's the first thing you want to do. And ask for guidance. If you hit me up on Facebook, I have an ancestor ritual that you should do, that you can do for about 7 days, just so you can make contact, And she had another question that says, but don't we have malevolent ancestors also?
Yeah. I was just going to say that, but I didn't want to ramble on. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. I make sure, this is just me personally and like where I'm at with it, as far as just like whenever I do something, I like to address my ancestors, first of all, of non-human origin, because I'm definitely not I'm playing a human right now. On TV, I play a human, but I'm actually not. But so I definitely also address them, my ancestors of non-human origin, because you got to remember, if you're on this channel listening to this shit, 99.999% chance, like, your true essence is definitely not humanity, so I kind of look at it that way, but I also address, like she said, because there are malevolent ancestors, and there are, just like in your regular waking family, you got family members that want to fucking see your downfall. How many people have died at the hands of a family member? So anything that you can see in the physical, you can definitely translate that it can also go down in spiritual too. So
Absolutely.
I make sure to, venerate those who walk with me, who are for our rise, our ascension, our healing, our liberation, because all you got all this karmic debt shit too you want to get rid of. So that's another reason why you want to deal with your ancestors.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Great answer.
Well, thank you.
And we have another question that said tips for beginner tarot readers.
Well, I don't read tarot. You got to ask the hoodoo
Right.
tarot man.
I was about to say that. He reads playing cards. But let me just say this, though. If any of you go to Shango for a reading for he's really efficient and good with the playing cards. I've not seen nobody on his level yet.
Namaste. Amy's pretty fucking dope, man. Amy's like,
yeah, she is.
Amy's fucking good with she's nice with the playing cards.
She is. But for beginner tarot readers, I would say, like anything else, is a skill that you need to acquire. I would say follow every tarot deck comes with a book for interpretations and stuff. The one that I use is the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot deck. I think it's very spiritually driven, and I get really accurate answers with it. I would say follow the rituals that are in the book. Follow the rituals until you can just do it without them. When the answers just start coming like this, then you know. But like anything, it takes work. And I've been working with these for 12 years now. Huh?
Yeah, it takes practice.
Practice makes perfect. It makes
consistency, man. I actually have a class, a video class called Psychic Cartomancy, how to read playing cards like a psychic badass in 48 hours or less. Okay. And one of the things that I found, as far as if you want to call it a hack, being whether it's playing cards or tarot, it can help in either or. I reduce certain things, like I'll say it like this. Who was that asked that question, by the way? What's their name?
Give me 1 second. Devin Smith.
Devin Smith. Okay, Devin. As far as like with playing cards and with tarot cards, numerology comes into things, right? So one quick hack is, if you can kind of learn what 0 through 9 means, you can save yourself a lot of time, because you really only have to remember that and the 4 elements: fire, water, air, and depending, steel or whatever. You know what I'm saying? However it goes, fire, water, whatever. So you can, once you know what each of these single digits mean and what these elements mean, then you can mix them together. You know what I mean? Because basically every card, I would say, maybe with the exception of the major arcana in tarot, can be boiled down to 1 digit, 1 number, so you can say that like 10 is actually 1, because 1 plus 0 is 1. Now, yes, it does have its meaning, because the 0 represents the infinite, the divine, and 1 is also, I can keep going, but like that makes it easier. So if I was to pull a card, 6 of diamonds, all I got to know is what 6 means and what the diamond suit means, and I can kind of put that meaning together, and then other things can come through after. Of course, that comes through with practice, but instead of trying to remember what every single fucking card is, like I'm just not that good to do that.
Well,
so I had to.
Let me, if I may add to that. I mean, same thing with if I pull a card, I don't know what the book version means, but to me, this is water. Water deals with emotion. You see what I'm saying? Once you know the element that the card represents, you go from there. Pretty much. That's the what they call the Cliff Notes version of it.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. So it works both ways, with playing cards as well as with tarot. There's a silly looking but very accurate deck called the Witchy Tarot. They look like witch cartoons, but they are easy to memorize, very pictorial and accurate. I'm gonna have to look into that. I never heard of it. The Witchy Tarot. Have you heard of it?
The Witchy Tarot. I think so. Yeah. My wife got like fucking tons of. She collects tarot also. You know what I mean? So like she loves tarot decks, so like she has a fuckload of them,
Oh,
so I've probably seen that, but yeah, whatever deck. Like honestly, I was actually going to start off with the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot
mhm.
because years and years ago, Mr. LaCroix gave me a reading, and A, the reading was good, and B, I was just like, yo, these cards are fire, like, but I ended up getting into playing cards. I don't know, I was like scooted over to playing cards, but if I was going to do tarot, I would definitely start with that deck. I've always had a thing for that deck, that Voodoo New Orleans Voodoo Tarot deck.
And I was your first reading, wasn't I? Didn't you start?
You were actually the first one that I actually, yeah, you were actually like one of the first people I ever actually read for, was like a reading, you know what I
And
mean?
this shit
Yes.
was scary accurate. I was like, man, you need to do this shit.
He was like, yeah, you got the gift. I was like, oh shit, because if he would have said, nah, I don't know, man, at the time, my doubt might have took over, and I just would have been like, fuck this card shit.
Right.
I didn't want to do this shit anyway.
Yeah.
I'm the fucking
Devin
reader.
Devin Smith asks, have you ever talked to them in dreams? I'm assuming she means ancestors.
That's where you're going to do most of your talking with spirits.
Right. Um, I'm the only one in my
I don't
family who has seen every single person who has died in my family. I've had conversations with them. You got to remember something too. If you don't know, if you haven't worked on your immortality while you're here in the physical form, you're not going to carry it over. You're not going to carry your consciousness over to the next world. So,
Yeah.
um, just don't expect these ancestors to, not all of them, to like get shit done for you. To be honest, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. Um, she also asks, no, not she, but have you ever Faith E says, have you ever burned camphor? I've used the incense. Um, I like the smell of it. Camphor. Why you smiling? Something he knows something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I went dead here. Like my screen has been frozen for the last 20 minutes and I'm
Oh no
making a
no.
stupid face on my. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the missus fucking burns camphor all the time, and we always would kind of not bump heads, but I would always talk a little shit because it smells so much. To me, it reminds me of Vicks. And I just never liked the smell of Vicks because it reminds me of being sick as a dog as a child. It's just one of them weird links,
Smell.
So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, but that shit'll open you up like a mug. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Um, trying to get to all these questions. Third eye butterfly.
hey, third eye butterfly, what's up?
Third eye butterfly says, "Do you have a favorite tarot deck?" It's this one. I have 6 or 7 myself, but it's this one that I use. As you can see, they bent, and I've used this deck for 12 fucking years. Um, I like also Aleister Crowley's deck, but that's
Mm-hmm.
so complex. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you almost have to use the book with Crowley's deck, but for me,
Mm-hmm.
it's the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot deck.
You did a
Shango
ritual
Rei
with that deck,
trading
did you
cards.
not, sir?
Say that again.
I said you did a ritual when you first got that deck, didn't you not, sir? Or
I
something.
did.
I
I
remember you
did.
telling me about a ritual you did where you even like traveled to go see somebody about that ritual just to activate your cards or something like that.
The,
That's dedication right there.
the
Yeah.
witch, the witch who trained me on tarot. Yeah, I traveled to her. Um, I had breakfast with the deck. Um, I I buried the breakfast food afterwards. I talked to it. I spread it out. I bonded with this deck. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the witch that taught me how to read these cards, in addition to what I did, she did a 20 card spread, and she was accurate as shit with 20 cards. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So to answer your question, yes, I did a couple different things to bond with the deck. Cart.
That's dedication.
How do you say cartomancy is also
Yeah,
used in
cardigan.
Haiti? Cartomancy,
Hmm.
yeah. Um,
Which
I
actually tarot is cartomancy too, because it's just divination with some form of a playing card, which tarot is. So,
right.
potato, potato. Uh-huh.
uh, playing cards are used. Oh, Amadi, I didn't see you there. I'm sorry about that. Playing cards are used by Haitian voodoo priests. It is eerily accurate. Yeah, like I
Hmm.
said, when Shango did a reading, I was like, damn, how the fuck you do that? You just started? And I was like, nah, you
And that,
bullshit. You know how to do this shit
yeah,
before.
that's exactly what I had to. I learned that like it was more remembering, like in one of like Total Recall or something like the movies or something. It was more like remembering than I was actually learning something. I was just like, yo, I've done this shit before. Like finally, you know, I had some travels and things, and I was like, oh, no
Right,
wonder. Shit, okay, shit.
right.
All right.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
how do you feel about Rider Waite's deck? Apparently, you should start with this and learn. Not saying that you do, but that's what I've heard. Everybody, see, I don't follow the norm when it comes to any. I don't follow any crowd. I don't know. This is the deck that I've used. I've never even had Rider Waite's deck. So to
Mm-hmm.
answer your question, you should start with the ones that calls to you, that you find a connection.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to
I
add to that?
agree.
Or is that it? Oh,
No,
okay.
I agree. That's well said right there. Says it all right there.
Thank you.
The point is to get started, though. It really, in my opinion,
Exactly.
doesn't matter placing too much importance on what deck, because you
Yeah.
got to remember, all these are just tools that we're using our intuition with. So really, when you get down to the brass tacks of things, you're using your intuition. So that's the power, not this shit. You know what I mean? But
Right.
if you do go through, you know, you have a particular deck you're drawn to, a particular style, a
Mhm.
particular theme, roll with that shit. Just roll with it.
But like I said, and your
Roll
wife
with it.
answered the question. She said, yes, it's recommended to start with the Rider Waite's because all books depict those and it's easier to learn. I agree. But like I said earlier, I take from everything. I'm a sponge truly when it comes to this. So I have How to Read the Tarot Intuitively DVD, and that uses the Rider Waite's. So and Ori says a true diviner will read anything. I agree with that also.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Did
They
tarot?
can a true diviner can read, the clouds in the sky,
Yeah, I know
or
people who can do that. I'm not one
two
of them.
birds flying over your head or something, or you spill some water the way it spills on the ground.
Right,
I mean, it
right.
goes on and on, like
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. Did tarot originate from playing cards? I think Tawanda answered this question. No. Uh,
Uh, well, I've read different things on that. It's I wasn't. Well, maybe I was there, but I wasn't recalling as far as like which one was first. I mean, I don't know. Do you know on that one?
on that one, I've heard Azazel Bay say that it was developed by the Moors. Um,
And then they went into China and well, actually
yeah,
Kemet and then China or something. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
But it was a form of a playing card or something, and
Something
then
like that. But the Moors did develop the tarot
right.
for the playing cards, chess, all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So, you know.
all right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
All right. I think that's it for questions, and I think we're gonna have to. We went an hour and a half.
Oh
I think
wow,
my wife is
wonderful.
calling me.
You did good. Shit.
Yeah,
Time
absolutely.
flies when you have fun.
It
Time
does.
flies when
It
you have
does.
fun.
Every time we chat it up like this, and we get lost in the conversation.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely. Lost in the sauce.
anything that you want to end with or wrap it up with? Or?
Oh. Well, I had originally thought may well, I don't know if you or if you're I don't know what your time is looking like. I maybe have a couple minutes, but I don't know if you wanted to kind of maybe open the door for just a question or two or three
No
before
question.
we conclude
Absolutely.
for
Absolutely.
as far as for throw some cards for the people. You know they
As a
always
matter
love
of
that
fact,
shit, you know.
let's do this. If you have a question for Shango, he could probably, or either one of us, I'm sure he does not mind pulling
Yeah.
cards to show you how accurate he is.
I mean, I'm okay. I'm all right. We'll see.
Thanks, Cam. I
See
ain't
what
done
it
yet.
do.
Ori said, "Hey, Miss Magic, deuces, George, that was good." We're not done yet. I want to show people, not trying to put you on the spot or anything. I just wanted to
Hey,
show
it's all right.
how accurate and how good Shango is with the cards. Does anybody have a question that they would like to ask? Uh, Aisha, you have a million questions. I'm sure you have one now. Do you
Or
drink
we could
coffee,
just do
sir?
card pull. Me? Oh, fuck yes. That's my, you know what? Drinking coffee. Hey, man, that is like a ritual. And the missus will even tell you, like, don't fuck with me when I'm drinking my coffee. Like, I want to it's its own event, man. I don't want a bunch of busyness going on. Like, I want to sit here and enjoy this cup of divinity. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
yeah. To answer your question, yeah.
You ever had we now we now mix chicory with our regular coffee. It gives a great flavor. You know what I'm saying?
Huh. Never tried that.
I
Never tried that.
try also Death Wish coffee. Is very strong. It's delicious. You know, it's the
Mm.
strongest coffee out there called Death Wish.
I think I've heard of that coffee before too. Yeah, with a name like that, how can I not? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I usually drink
Right.
I use one of them homemade on the stove espresso, the old school ones,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the cafecitos and shit. Yeah, that's what I drink.
Okay. Okay. I
But
tune into
yeah,
Shango Rei during work. He's very skilled. I am I am sure he appreciates that sentiment.
I
Uh,
do. Thank you. Mm.
and Aisha says, "Does it have to be a yes or no question?"
Nah, I could just pull a card, sometimes I do that. We do the super chats where it's just a card pull, and if you want to ask a specific question and you can super chat, but since we're on a different forum here, I would whether you have a question or I can just pull a card for you, a couple cards for you, and just see what comes through.
Um.
I can't
Okay,
hear.
Aisha. It does not have to be a yes or no question. Okay. Will her question is, will my current situation get better?
Okay.
Does it have to
Aisha,
be more
Aisha.
specific than that? Doesn't.
Nah, let's just take that because I know we're coming to the end. We're
Yeah.
about to land this plane, so I'll just roll with that and see what comes through. So for Aisha, she said, will her current situation get better?
Yeah.
Now look, man, I hate to pause this real quick, but I usually get in my clients' ass when they ask me a question like that because it's like, to be honest, you're the only one that can really answer that.
I think
If
you
you
said
have,
this before. I think
I
you said.
have, man, and I keep reminding people all the time. It's like, I don't know, will it, Aisha? Like, no, I'm kidding. But I'm gonna throw some cards though. We're gonna see what's up. So for Aisha, will her current situation, based on everything known and unknown, all factors known and unknown, will get better. We'll get better.
You talked the whole
Will
time.
it
I
get?
noticed.
Yeah. Uh, don't you hate when the cards give you a maybe? I
Nah,
fucking hate that shit,
I don't
man. But
like it at all.
what I'm seeing here though, Keish, your current situation is a strong maybe. Some people would say this means no because it's all black, But I go and I read through things. I gotta say this right here. This card has been popping up to me. If y'all could see that, that's a 7 of spades reversed. Okay, so we're talking about also there's some information that's missing. Okay, I also feel that within some of these situations, or I don't know if it's just life in general or one particular situation, but in regards to the situation, there's also someone around you or some bodies who are withholding information from you. Okay, which is also what's kind of keeping things kind of fucked up right now. Okay, but this also has to do with you. There's some information you might just not know, or you don't know that you don't know, that type of thing. Okay. I can see there's been a lot of mental worry energy as well. One of your keys here is also to tap into your creativity. I don't know if you journal and stuff like that, but you need a chance to be able to see what the hell's going on in your head instead of just letting it, go on and on without being able to recognize any separation between you and your thoughts. And finally, I feel like there's going to be some form of an air sign, a woman. Okay, she's actually going to be able to assist you, whether that assistance is also through giving you knowledge and wisdom, or just lending an ear when you need to talk or something like that. But this person may even already be in your circumstances right now. But I got a maybe. It's really going to fall on you, though. There's no set future. The future is constantly changing. There's multiple timelines that you can experience. We live in a multiverse. So there's not just one future. There's many. And whichever one you're going to experience is going to depend on you and where your focus is and where your energy's at.
Okay, I hope that satisfied your curiosity. So you pretty much have the power here, Aisha. Faith E says, when will she meet her husband? Is that a good question to ask?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you hear me?
I didn't hear. No, I did not.
Okay. Faith E says, when will she meet her husband? Is that a good question to ask?
Okay.
When?
I have a better question if I may present it to Faith E. How about, am I in alignment to meet my husband right now? Because what's the sense of asking when if you're just not on that page right now? Not saying you can't get on that page, but does that make sense?
It does. Does to me.
Yeah. When asking a timing question, I always ask first and foremost, are we even in alignment for this shit to happen? Why ask when if it ain't even going to happen?
Right.
So for Faith, all right. Is she in alignment right now to meet her future husband? For Faith E, is she in alignment right now? All factors known and unknown. Yeah, so let's see what we got here. It's Faith E. Oh, hell yeah. They only not even emphasize 2 of hearts, 2 of diamonds, and then, of course, the king of diamonds. Okay, so yes, you are. I'll say it like this, since we're, kind of winding down on time. I'll ask this. Will it be within 1 year from today? Okay, so will it be within 1 year today? Hell, you might already know his ass. Just don't know him as hubby yet.
Right.
Will it be? Just as long as there's no relation there, huh? All right, so will it be? Will it be within 1 year of right now? Will it be within 1 year right now that she'll meet her husband? Yeah.
She says she works a lot, so she doesn't go out.
Oh, I see. I'm showing here that actually meeting the person that will be your husband, as of right now, everything known and unknown, right now, your path, your trajectory, if you will, is definitely leading you to meet or discover that this person may be who your husband is, but your own pessimism and things may get in the way. I feel like that's also been a situation with you, like overcoming your own negativity. And sometimes you blocked your own quote unquote blessings because it's just like, oh, it's too good to be true. That type of thinking has kind of cock blocked you in several areas of your life. So I'm just seeing that here. But yeah, I'm actually showing that within a year, you're actually going to meet him. Now, will you know that's your husband or not? We'll have to tune in and find out, I guess.
Okay. Hopefully that answers your question, Faith. And we are going to wrap this up then. And I appreciate you coming again, brother. It's always a pleasure to speak with you.
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And for all of y'all who were tuned in, thank you for your questions and your interaction. And
Absolutely. Absolutely.
this has been Magic LaQuai. That is Shango Ray, and we are out of here. Peace, y'all. See y'all next
Namaste.
time.
All right.
Namaste. And